Recording, and Ashley, I will let you take it away.
Okay. Back our time. Okay, so let me make sure I've got my audio on. Okay, so welcome. Let me start the timer here. Okay, so the title of our presentation is Measuring the Impact of Quality Matters Professional Development and Course Certification on Teaching Performance and Student Success. Myself, I work out of the Cal State University Chancellor's Office in Academic Technology Services, supporting system-wide quality assurance efforts. And along with me, we also have three co-presenters from three different Cal State University campuses, and they will share their campus quality assurance efforts and outcomes. And I will let each person respectively introduce themselves. I have currently been in this role for about 8 years now, since near the inception when we started providing support for quality assurance at the system-wide level for campuses since 2012. And since then, we've seen just this significant growth. And so we'll kind of share some of those system-wide. You can take a look at some of those outcomes at the system level, and then we'll drill deeper at the campus level with the other three campuses. We've got Bakersfield, Fresno State, and Fullerton here in this session. So with that, I'll just kind of move us forward here. Since 2012, this has been a model that we use to support the quality assurance efforts by providing an annual RFP where campuses are eligible for up to 12 to 15,000. And they, develop a proposal and they identify goals and document those outcomes and activities through a showcased e-portfolio. So we've got a lot of tiny URLs throughout our presentation. You can take a look at some of those efforts and get ideas from how each campus is showcasing those. What's nice about having a system-wide effort with an RFP is that we do have a monthly community where we meet to talk about those activities. And it's a lot of sharing and it's very rich. So this really has helped to sustain this model and campuses moving forward with their efforts. So at the system level, since 2012, we have been offering system-wide training. The first couple of years, there was a larger focus on providing more face-to-face trainings at the campus and at the Chancellor's office or in Northern California at one of the campuses, and faculty or staff could attend that. Since then, we've been able to grow our pool of certified facilitators. We've got, let's see how many. We've got a pool of 28 facilitators right now, so we continue to grow and sustain that pool. So at the system level, we do cover the cost of that certification, and then facilitators are paid $750 per course that they facilitate, as well as a lot of the campuses provide a lot of one-on-one as well, and instructional design support too. But we do have a system website where we showcase the schedule, and they can with a link for registering, and they register at $50 per enrollment versus going directly through Quality Matters for the other cost. So, but we've found that this schedule works well. We offer 4 different courses, and we offer those each academic term, summer, fall, and spring. So progress since we've launched in 2012, you can really see, the growth there, and it just keeps, it's been progressively increasing each academic year or term. And right now we're, just at about 5,000 training completions. We do have some of our campuses do offer pretty rich training programs within their campus. And so we also try to capture those trainings as well, because they've got really strong instructional designers and such that support providing those training opportunities, institutes and such. But we're real, you know, excited to see these numbers just increase, and there's just a lot of benefit and value to completing the trainings, and we hear that all the time, that it just, there's a value for face-to-face as well when they go through training. So regarding our formal certified reviewers and course certifications, we have been able to grow our certified reviewers. We're at about 160 right now. I tried initially tracking how many reviews each reviewer serves on, and that tends to be a little cumbersome, but you know, certainly I do have that public facing with the list of the certified reviewers, as well as try to capture some of the anecdotal feedback for the benefits of serving on a peer review as well as instructors. So definitely finding a lot of value there. Formally certified courses, we're at about 200 plus, and that continues to grow. So very exciting to see that, and we're definitely seeing, you know, certain programs that you know, the formal certification resonates more with them, with business and nursing and such for accreditation. So, but the campuses and faculty do get really excited when they do receive that level of recognition, and we have recognition efforts as well at that level. Down to about 4 minutes, I'll kind of go into our SQuAIR efforts. So at the system level, we launched in 2017 an effort called a Student Quality Impact Research Group. And we currently have, we initially started with 13 campuses, and we have about 15 campuses that meet monthly to talk about research around quality assurance activities. So initially we were looking at instructors completing training, and whether you're trained or non-trained, and taking a look at the DFW and looking at the students' retention and success in those courses, as well as taking a deeper dive if the course is certified or not certified, see if there's any differences there. So just to give you a bit of background, so within that research group, we have 15 campuses, and it's been a really nice, rich group because we have individuals from institutional research at the campus that may attend, faculty research associate that's been identified by an administrator to attend, and or even the administrators. And there's just a lot of rich discussion about what each campus is doing, what challenges they have for obtaining that level of data. And then at the system level, we have 2 different surveys that we administer in the fall and spring. And those surveys are aligned across the Quality Matters 24 or 23 essential objectives, and they're written in student-friendly terms. So the instructors are sent the link to this survey, and they can either opt in or not choose to not administer, but they can have their students complete the survey, and then following the end of the academic term, I generate a report. I send that individually to each instructor, and they can use that for their professional portfolio and taking a look at the data that the students provide, and it informs them and validates their course. So to give you a snapshot of this data, so this is an overview. You can see each of these. If you were to count, there's 25 items. They're numbered, but all of these on a Likert scale of 1 to 5. The average, all of them are in between that 4 to 5 range, so they're pretty strong already. But you can see the lower numbered items as well, in the lower 4s. Than the ones that are stronger, but overall you've got an average of 4.42 across all 25 items. And this is we continue to add to that data set over the last 2.5 years. We've got about 3,500 students currently that have filled out and submitted these survey results. So we feel pretty strong that this is a rich data set, and there's a lot of qualitative data in that survey. We just haven't had the bandwidth to really take a closer look at that. So I'm sure that one day we'll also give us a lot more information as well. Another survey we also administered to the faculty who have completed trainings, and here just wanted to highlight the faculty actually ranked which topics were of greatest value to them, that they could go and make those changes in their course. So you can kind of see, just taking a closer look, the first three that are, there's my stop. The first three that are identified as, more strongly that they can in turn jump right in and apply. So I can tell you the alignment component of the QM rubric is one of the items that it comes up much more frequently. And then lastly, this deals with pedagogy, and the faculty also identified which strategies based on the training that they felt that they would be able to go forward and implement further. So with that, I'm going to pass the baton off to Sinjini at Fullerton.
Thank you, Ashley. Hello, everybody. I'm Sinjini Mitra. I'm a faculty, I'm an associate professor of Information Systems and Decision Sciences at Cal State Fullerton. And I've been involved in this QM work for the past, I believe, almost 6 years, 5-6 years now. And I've been involved in the SQuAIR research that Ashley mentions, the CSU-wide effort, the student quality impact research, that initiative from the very beginning. So it's been a privilege, and I'm very happy to be able to share some of the results from our campus with everybody today. So at Fullerton, we have had a lot of faculty as well as staff who underwent some kind of QA training. So I had a total of 226 QA-related trainings at Fullerton with about 156 faculty, and this includes both tenured track, full-time, part-time lecturers who have gone through the different levels of training, and then including just the QM training as well as the reviewer. Like Ashley mentioned, we have several reviewers on our campus. We have 15. Then we have one master reviewer as well, and then there are other QA-related trainings that our faculty have also gone through. And on our campus, we have 11 certified QM certified courses so far, which is probably a little bit less than some of the other campuses, but we still have a few. And I believe there are some more faculty who have gone through the training are also hoping to go through certification in the future. So and also for the next one, Ashley. So apart from just the regular professional QM and QA related trainings, we also have other professional development training workshops that are held on campus through our Office of Online Education and Training, and they focus on online, hybrid, and blended courses as well. So for example, people who have already gone through QM training, we have like sometimes monthly meetings. We used to call it QA Academy. We had that for a few years, and hopefully we'll start having them again. Faculty have gone through this training to kind of meet and share ideas and and teaching tips, all of that. So it's been kind of very useful. And we also have other lunch and learn, kind of networking events throughout, again, to talk about how to improve our course designs and delivery for online and blended classes. Our OET also offers some certificates. One of them is called TOP. It's called Teaching Online Certificate Program. It has 4 modules also focusing on different aspects of online course design and delivery. We also have certificates on different accessibility and UDL topics, also some more recent topics like open education resources, affordable learning solutions, and all of these have had over like 20-30 participants per cohort, so they're pretty successful. So there's a lot of professional development also going on our campus, apart from just the regular formal QA trainings and certifications. So these are the student survey results from 2017-18 academic year. And this is the same 25-item student survey that's Ashley mentioned. This is administered to all students taking courses that that are taught by instructors with some kind of QM training or QM certification course. And these are again, I've not presented the results for all the 25 items, but the main 8 topics that are aligned with the QM standards. And our results are very similar to what Ashley saw CSU-wide. So our overall mean was 4.71. We had, so then 2017-18, we had responses from about 27 students at Fullerton, and our highest mean was for the course overview and introduction, and the lowest was for technology for teaching and learning. And similar results also from 2018 and 19. These are also positive, the same Likert scale that Ashley mentioned, 1 through 5. We had a few more responses this year as we have more and more faculty, who went through trainings. So we had about 66 respondents in that academic year, and our overall mean was 4.48. Although they were all generally positive, although the overall means were a little bit lower than before, but those are sometimes affected by other factors depending on the level of course, the level of the course, the difficulty level, and other things. But in general, we always see very positive student feedback about their satisfaction, their perception about these online course designs for those courses that have that are taught by instructors with some kind of QM training. Some now course student outcomes, actually looking at grades like Ashley was saying. So we look at the DFW rates for students, and these are the data collected from one of our first campus studies done in 2017, and this focused on the semesters from fall 2016 to summer 2016 to spring 2017. And as you can see, these are the orange bars are the DFW rates for the courses taught by non-QA trained faculty, but then the blue ones are the DFW rates for the courses taught by faculty with some kind of QM training. And we generally see that the DFW rates are lower for those faculty with some kind of QM training. And we also see some statistical significance with very low p-values. However, if you look at this, the sample sizes are sometimes disproportionate because we have a relatively smaller proportion of courses, taught by instructors with some kind of QM training than not. So, so when we look at effect sizes and all of that, these effects are kind of moderate, but we do see that, we do see a difference in some way. For fall 2018, fall 2019, we have these DFW rates, and I've organized this a little bit differently. So the columns basically show the number of QM trainings, QA trainings completed by the instructor teaching a course. So, and they go from anywhere from 0 to 3. So they can have, they can have the APP QMR training as well as be a peer reviewer, or they can be also a master reviewer, or they could have had some other kind of online professional development training, regarding quality assurance. And the data, as you can see, also show that, the DFW rates kind of decrease with more number of QM trainings per instructor. However, we only have a couple of exceptions. Again, sometimes we see slightly different trends, again, depending on the type and the level of course also. But overall, we again see that, the course performance, student retention success rates improve, for courses where the instructor have had like a number of these trainings. And now I just wanted to present some the results, actually the student outcomes from very specific groups of students. Now, Cal State Fullerton, like most of the CSU campuses, also have a very large minority, student group population, first generation Pell Grant recipients and others. So again, these are just graphs showing the DFW rates, particularly for underrepresented minority students, and then the orange bars are for the non-QA trained faculty, and the blue bars are the ones for the QM trained faculty, and we can see that again, there is a significant difference. Again, the effect sizes are also moderate, which does show that there is an effect of QM training on, non-student outcomes. Okay, so similar, very similar results also for first-gen students. We saw the same thing like the underrepresented students. When we kind of divide them out into different categories around underrepresented, we also have first-gen students. Again, very similar results. We see that the DFW rates are considerably lower for those courses which are taught by faculty with some kind of QA training. So basically, overall, looking at the student results, we definitely see that QM kind of training has, positive impact both on, student outcomes as well as student satisfaction, regarding the online course delivery. And then moving on to the faculty part, we did a very kind of focused research study in 17-18 and asked a few instructors on our campus who had some kind of QM training or had a QM certified course actually to talk about their experience, the whole experience, going through the QM certification and, changes that they have, instituted, as well as professional development. And, just, I'm just going to rush through a little bit because of time, but overall very positive feedback. And they all mentioned a significant increase in their self-confidence and satisfaction teaching the same online course after QM certification, that the QM experience made their courses more rigorous, improved ease of navigation for students, and that QM was the most impactful professional development experience at CSUF in terms of teaching, which definitely helped improve their online course delivery. Okay, and then we also did the faculty survey that Ashley mentioned. This is also the CSU-wide faculty survey, and so we had 13 responses, and the faculty, the mean between 1 to 3 about usefulness of professional development to teaching was 2.69, and like almost 70% found it very useful, and 31% says somewhat useful. So that's very positive. And like when asked about how beneficial was QA training to student learning in online course, and also the mean was very similar. So in general, we see a lot of satisfaction from the faculty side as well. And these are the top three faculty ranking of QA topics that Ashley also mentioned. And our results are very closely aligned with what we saw from the entire CSU. These are the top 3 QA training topics that our faculty liked. So the assessment and evaluation, student interaction, and instructional materials, and the top 3 pedagogical methods that they implemented after the training were discussion forums, rubrics, and active learning. Again, very similar patterns that we see across CSU, and some of these are well aligned because again, when we talk about assessment, we talk about doing rubrics, and discussion topics also help promote student engagement and interaction, which are very positive things for an online class environment. And lastly, this is just a snapshot of some background of teaching experience of our faculty who teach at least one online course. So we did a short Google form for faculty because our institution research office doesn't collect this data. And we did, these are just kind of a kind of a background, and they say that the means, the number of years teaching at college level, the means and the medians around 14 and 15, number of years teaching at CSF. So all of these faculty are pretty, pretty strong background, teaching here at CSUF, and as well as they have at least the mean number of years of them teaching online courses is also at least 5. So, so it was just a kind of a background teaching information to kind of supplement our faculty survey results. Thank you.
Yes. Well, this is JJ Wang from CSU Bakersfield. Sinjini and Ashley did a great job in their presentation. I want to echo that strong message and for our great colleagues who are in our session. Thank you for coming to our session. CSU Bakersfield is one of the first 4 CSU campuses that participated in quality assurance project led by our Chancellor's office. Next. Yeah. Thus, we act together as a university system, as shown in this slide. Faculty announcement was made online for the QA training from the Chancellor's office. So it's not just local isolation, we have systematic approach. Next slide. Then also in addition, the workshop are offered locally to build on the system-wide leadership at the CSUB to facilitate adoption of the QM rubric. So this was an announcement. We made this kind of announcement multiple times each year. The campus authority, the next slide, is designated by the online Senate resolution. So we don't want to say, well, this is just administrative-driven initiative. We want to make sure faculty and academic senate get involved. So with this authorization, we still working and engaging in ongoing improvement. Like for instance, right now, we're about to update the stipulation to reflect the transition of the learning management system from Blackboard to Canvas. The next one. Yeah. Then at the school level, due to the subject competency, you can see from the left pie, initially, natural science, mathematics, engineering faculty were more familiar with the technology. So they have more attendees at the initial workshop in 2017. But eventually in 2019, the number of attendees become more or less equal, which is proportional to the student enrollment figures in each school. Hence, the policy has filtered through the instructor preparation over time. So the time made a difference. The next one. To date, a total of 430 instructors completed QA training. In academic year 2018 to 2019, 2019 to 2020, the majority of online students are enrolled in courses taught by the instructors with the training. That's how much we did. Now, how well we did, that's the next one we have here. Then as a result, significant difference have been found in student GPA outcomes between QA trained and yet to be trained instructors. In this slide, the decimal point in the degree of freedom was caused by the rejection of the Levinsky equivariance test. But you can see that with that adjustment, that it's still highly significant. So we not just did a lot, but also did well because the impact is reflected at a student level. The next slide. The result also confirmed significant reduction of DWF grades in the chi-square test. Well, DWF grade is very important. We know that the CSU system had a graduation initiative 2025. So we are committed to help students increase their graduation rate. That's why we are here for. So one of the key strategy is online teaching. If you say, well, how did you help a student graduate? Well, online teaching is one of the key 8 strategies posted on Chancellor's website. Next slide. And altogether, we found that instructors completed the CSU QA professional development are more able than non-trained peers to design and deliver online course effectively. So that's something we feel so strongly. Besides, we also gathered the student satisfaction feedback. So those are the questions and the domains we covered, along with the quantitative data gathering. And with this kind of data gathering effort, we really checked into those kind of students. Well, if you say, well, they feel good, feel bad, about what? Which side? So then we have to use the modern technology, cutting edge technology. What we used was the R package, the latest one. R package had numerous packages to handle text analytics, but the latest one was released a year ago called Quantitative Analysis of Text Data. So this text analytics is a rapidly expanding field of machine learning. According to Mary Lynch, 20% of the data are structured for statistical analysis. So statisticians only handle a small piece of the world. And then 80% of the data are unstructured for text analytics. For that reason, big software packages companies have actively joined the competition. For instance, I have to be trained recently by SAS to become a certified analyst in this field. In our findings, as shown in this slide, most frequently used words in 2019 survey of CSEB students showed more focus on learning tasks, such as course assignment, grading, discussion, Canvas setting, and learning materials. Students also expressed the positive sentiment, including great feedback, timely help for the online learning. So all those things can be verified from the student qualitative data. We not just deal with quantitative data, we also deal with qualitative data. We use mixed method. Whichever method we available, we want to triangulate the findings. The lexical dispersion plot was created to document the relative location of student responses. So if you say, well, you mentioned students frequently mentioned those positive words and satisfaction, where did they mention? Okay, during that qualitative feedback? Well, we have this documentation. Then those positive words including great, enjoy, appreciate, clear, good, and helpful. They all listed here, show you relative position when they mention those words. Next one. We also contrasted the time result on time dimension to reveal new findings, because if you lump them together, you don't know what's new, what happened before, because we participated in a project for 3 to 4 years already. So in this keyness plot, we show that the keyword Canvas, as you can see on the top, which was never mentioned in the baseline reference data before, but it surfaced this year. The next one. With the Quantitative software package to stem the keywords to reduce the data sparsity, because if you don't reduce the data sparsity, like you said, you have words utilize, utilization, utilized, they all have a become different variable, but then actually they mean the same thing. So that's why we have to do stemization to reduce the sparsity. So with that condensing the effort to condensing the data, then we examine the word cloud plot as we shown here. In 2017, you can see that CSEB 2017, at that time, not all faculty had a QM training, which highlighted the importance of the course organization, because without training, we all have to organize the course though. So that part is a common denominator for us. In 2018, the students considered assignment as a course assignment as a critical component, because if you have well-organized content, but then do I do well? What kind of assignment we deal with? The student, a lot of feedback were focused on that part. You can see the font was a little bit larger on the cloud plot. In 2019, then students more frequently mentioned the learning management system change, such as Canvas. So it's kind of really keep us posted. And also we checked the distribution of the frequently used words. We realized they varied among 3 survey categories. What are the 3 survey categories? The first category deals with student engagement, which is pertain to what Ashley mentioned, the questions 1 to 9. And also the second part was dealing with the questions 10 to 18. That was also mentioned by Ashley on the questions we deal with student survey on online education. Okay, what are the features we have? The final comment deal with the supporting resources. We can see that in comparison, a great course overview or introduction is reflected by the clarity, which is for question 1 to 9 part. They're more focused on, well, if you give me instruction, is the instruction clear? That's student care. Then for detailed instruction features, such as discussion, feedback, online materials, and class access, they are more reflected in question 10 to 12, 10 to 18, and the final comment section. So with this, we can see this kind of similarity is also confirmed by the response clustering. The clustering show that in the dendrogram here, it shows that indeed the student response will closely clustered between the responses towards the final comment and questions 10 to 18. So we do a reconfirmation of our findings. Then beyond that, we also have the next one. We aggregated the macro structure of word connections. If you say, well, you did a detailed analysis, you also have to have a synthesis now. So when we aggregate the macro structure of the word connections, we saw it here that student grade feelings are linked to like student professors and the courses, because the courses are under professor's control. That's why you can see the link on this plot with thicker. And also student grade feeling is linked to those core components, because you can see the thickness of in this plot. And instead of claiming what works, we should also emphasize on what works for whom and in which context. So for that reason, the assignment feedback you can see in this plot, students, they all related to the relative thickness of the links in the course components. So in this regard, our result echoed the importance of the 8 general standards of quality matters. Particularly, this plot specifically confirmed the importance of standard 3, which is assessment that was mentioned here with a thick link, and standard 5 on interaction, and standard 7 on the learner support. Again, both qualitative and quantitative data through our triangulation effort echoed one thing, which is quality assurance matters. It made a difference. Thank you.
Great, thanks, JJ. My name is Mary Bennett. I'm an instructional designer at Fresno State in the Center for Faculty Excellence. I'm also the COLT program manager through the Chancellor's office. So the next few slides that I'm going to be going over are really going to cover the policies that drove the training and the training opportunities that we have at Fresno State. So in spring of 2018, the Academic Senate approved the APM 206 policy that states that faculty who are teaching online or blended courses need to be trained. Also, you can see here section B of the policy has the course categories. So these courses are tagged in PeopleSoft so that when students register, they know the mode of delivery that they're going to be engaged with when they register for those courses. Part of the policy also is the adoption of the QUILT instrument. So faculty who want to teach online, they have to be trained. On the next slide, Ashley, can you go to the next slide? There you go. One back is the QA trainings at Fresno State. And I'll just, perfect. So as you can see here, we have 367 faculty who've participated in Q1 training, 51 in Q2. Then we have other trainings that are approved by the university. So if faculty do training, say through the community college, if we've looked at the syllabus, then we also can approve those trainings. So since spring of 2018, 73 faculty have participated in QUILT training. So prior to the adoption of the APM 206 policy, faculty knew that was coming, so they wanted to be prepared. They didn't want to risk having their courses, not being able to teach their online courses, so they all started. We saw a big influx of training. Our center also reached out to faculty who had courses tagged as online and who needed to be trained. We held some Fresno State specific trainings for faculty, which worked out really well. We had, 25 faculty enrolled in the same Q1 course at the same time, so that worked out well. And on the next slide, you'll see some screenshots of ways that we are supporting our faculty who have gone through training, and even those who are just, new to online instruction and kind of want to get their feet wet. We have some just-in-time resources that we've created. In Canvas, we've got a weekly template that faculty can go grab in Canvas Commons. And embedded in this template is a guide for best practices, such as how to welcome students to your online course, how to engage students in online instruction. Also, both the weekly template and the continuity teaching template have accessibility and student resources all preloaded for faculty, so they don't have to worry about, you know, where they're going to get those resources. We created the continuity teaching template several weeks ago in response to getting faculty trained quickly who needed to now, you know, transition from face-to-face to online. Super simple template. It has a start here module, the faculty, the university support resources, and a very basic module that faculty can duplicate. We also offer the faculty toolbox that is just a repository of resources for faculty. It contains all of the Canvas documentation, and we utilize this weekly to send out Canvas tips to faculty. In all of the training that we do, we really address accessibility. It's something very strong in all of our trainings. And as previously mentioned, the accessibility resources are preloaded into the template. So we found that getting faculty to create accessible resources has been really a challenge. You know, it takes a lot of time, and sometimes it's not that intuitive. So we are using Ally and Canvas to make it clear to faculty which content they have in their course that's accessible and which content they have in their course that is not accessible. So if you're not familiar with Ally, what it does is it scans the content that you've added to your course site, and it assigns it an accessibility score. And then based on the score, your content has an accompanying dial so that you can go in and remediate that content very easily. Students do not see the score, only faculty. So Ally was implemented in spring of 2018 when the campus was still on Blackboard. And as you can see, since that time, the accessibility of the files in our course management system, which is now Canvas, has greatly increased. And this has been a project that's ongoing. It's led by an instructional designer who's trained some student assistants to remediate files. And it's been just an amazing accomplishment for our campus. So in addition to addressing accessibility, we have other training opportunities. Obviously, we have lots of Canvas training. We've moved to Canvas beginning in the spring of 2019. And fall 2019, the entire campus was on Canvas. So we offer 8 different Canvas workshops that supported this move. We also have a Universal Design for Learning certificate that is specific to online instruction and aligns with the quote rubric. And our Discovery Mobile Technology program, while not specific to online instruction, the strategies and the tools used in that, that program can then be transferred very effectively to the online classroom. And the Center for Faculty Excellence issues a monthly newsletter which communicates to the campus our training opportunities. That's one way that we are communicating out what we're doing. We also send Google Calendar invites to large groups of faculty to our training opportunities and events so that it goes right to their Google Calendar, and that way we can really get an idea of how many people are going to be attending. And then finally, we attend department meetings at the beginning of every semester to highlight what we're doing in our center and see what the needs of the department are as far as their training needs are, so then we can then meet those. We also always have the QA training listed in our newsletter. So on the next slide, you'll see, this is a screenshot of our institutional dashboard that shows the data, the SQuAIR data from fall 2019. If you download the PowerPoint, you'll actually be able to click on this and it's interactive. But the rise in the number of trained faculty really did have an impact on the respondents of the SQuAIR survey. As you can see, there were 331 respondents, and that, looking at just fall 2019, that was 17 faculty that participated in the survey. The lowest scores were in the area of technology for teaching and learning and student interaction and community. And these areas will be where we're going to focus some new training. And And we've also already done so in inviting the faculty to participate in the UDL cohort this semester that actually spans across 3 semesters. So the areas of technology for teaching and learning and student interaction and community are addressed in the UDL cohort. This word cloud, it is of the student comments, and the course overview and introduction section of the rubric received the highest scores from students. And I think that the student comments really support this. Organized appears several times, as does clear and access. And it would be surprising if this was not the case, because the instructors who participated have used our templates, and embedded in the templates is this criteria is addressed as it's aligned to the rubric in the course overview and introduction area of our template. So these, to me, the student comments were not surprising. We're also using the SQuAIR data as an indicator for our COLT course reviews. At this time, we have 8 certified courses, and it's been a challenge for us really to get faculty to participate in having their courses reviewed. And I'm not sure if this is how what others are feeling, but oftentimes our faculty are worried that it may be punitive if they don't score high enough on the rubric. So they're kind of leery sometimes to have their courses reviewed. We have reached out to the 17 faculty who participated in SQuAIR during fall 2019, and 3 courses have been identified based on informal campus reviews, and they are now ready to move forward. So the APM policy that has driven most of the quality assurance training also includes requirements for having online courses reviewed. So just to give you an idea, just this semester, there's 272 online courses, most of which have not been reviewed. So it's a pretty heavy lift for our instructional design team. So in response to this, the Academic Senate has appointed an APM 206 subcommittee. So there's 1 faculty from each college. They all have to be COLT trained. And unfortunately, they were only able to meet face-to-face once prior to the closure of our campus due to COVID-19. So with that, the role of the subcommittee kind of changed, as they are now supporting faculty who had to quickly pivot to online instruction. So we'll see, this will probably go on for a few weeks, and then they'll get back to their regular agenda of the subcommittee. So I just wanted to share this image of our empty faculty lounge in the Center for Faculty Excellence. It's usually really bustling with activity. Faculty come and go, they grab coffee, they grab a snack, they learn, they collaborate, and they network with their peers in this space. And during the fall and summer of 2019, faculty visited this area over 2,000 times. And the growth of this community really can be directly tied to the faculty who've participated in COLT training, because in each and every course, they were contacted, even if one of our instructional designers was not the facilitator for the course, to come and work in our lounge. And so finally, I just wanted to share 2 quotes from faculty who participated in COLT training, and they've reached out to me. I have many of these that I could share with you, but I just wanted to let you know that they really felt prepared to teach in this time of crisis, to deliver instruction to their students in an effective way based on this training. So thank you.
Okay, that wraps up our individual respective data and outcomes, but didn't know if you had any overarching questions. We've got our contacts here. Certainly feel free to download the slides, because you'll have links to those to each of us respectively as well. If you have further questions about our implementation efforts, ideas, I think each of us gave a different perspective around training and analysis of data and how we report that. So it's always good to get a varied perspective rather than everyone doing the same thing, right? So thank you so much for attending, and I'm gonna pass it back to Quality Matters facilitator.
Yes, thank you, Ashley. Just want to see, does anyone have any additional questions that they want to put into the chat right now? I will be putting in the link to the materials, if I could spell materials. There, if people want to grab that, they there they are. I am waiting to see if there are any more questions. Since I am not seeing any right now, I think I'm going to take away sharing from you, Ashley, and I will put up the next timeline. So we have 20 minutes until the next session, and so this is break time. Oh, I do want to put in the chat, we do have a survey. First, I want to thank the presenters, and then I will put in the chat the link to the survey. There that is. And I will, so coming up at 2:30, here are the different room options for all of you. So I will say thank you very much. Stop the recording.